Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so obviously Global has been very dry over this last week or so. We've gotten the EZA'S for the Dragon Ball Fusion units, as well as the release of the free-to-play units and their awakenings. Obviously we are here part of the Android celebration, so a lot of people, I was actually going to make a separate video about this. I made a tweet a little while ago. Those of you who follow me on Twitter might have seen it. Maybe you were wondering where the follow-up to that was. I did put out a tweet asking like what global players were up to at the moment, because maybe I could make it into a video, but like pretty much every single reply was either link leveling or playing JP. And that's pretty much it. So since I also decided to jump on board and have been working on my JP account, I could definitely agree that Global hasn't really had a huge amount going on at the moment. Because, you know, if you weren't interested in summoning for the androids because you wanted to save, obviously banners do not equal content for a lot of people. We had some EZAs, including the EZA for the free-to-play LR androids, which is obviously very nice, and these two big buffs to the android team, especially for older units that people who've been playing the game for a while might have had for some time. And we're looking at the schedule here for JP, of course, so the layout is slightly different, because on JP, as part of the Android celebration, they got the awakenings for the free-to-play fusion units and the EZAs for these Dragon Ball Fusions characters and Future Gohan, at the same time as the release of the LR Future Gohan and Trunks. So basically, we have maintenance announced coming up in the next few days on Global. So once we get the data download after that maintenance, we should have this news confirmed. But basically, what we should be seeing coming up in the next few days. So obviously, this video is being recorded and going out on Friday. I imagine it will be Tuesday, because we've had content drop the last 2 Tuesdays in a row, right? The androids were Tuesday the 1st, the fusion stuff was Tuesday the 8th. So Tuesday the 15th, I imagine, is when we will see, I say Tuesday for me, Tuesday morning. It'll be Monday evening on the 14th if you're in certain parts of the US. That's when we should see the release of the LR Future Gohan and Trunks banner. I will do a separate video all about that, as I always do for every banner, just going over the details, what I think about in terms of summoning, the banner setup, all that kind of stuff. But I believe we will see that on Tuesday. But the question is, like, what else are we going to get? Because if we look at the way this celebration panned out on JP, we did get a new Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. They also got a World Tournament around the same time with the awakening for this 18, as well as a new Piccolo, and the reward was this STR baby. I could see this coming up for part 2, because realistically, outside of the LR banner, like, what else is there? I predict that the next Dokkan Fest on Global is obviously going to be the Trunks one, which came out before the androids on JP. But that will lead us into Saiyan Day, as this celebration did not have a Part 2 LR. So that means they can release that to cover us over the either end of, part of the end of February and the beginning of March, because then Saiyan Day comes out like midway through March. The problem is, if the LR Future Gohan and Trunks banner does come out on Monday the 14th / Tuesday the 15th, that leaves us with almost 2 full weeks of February left with nothing else other than potentially a world tournament and maybe a new Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. So that's not really a lot for Global for 2 weeks. Now, it often is the case that during the JP anniversary, like, we make these memes and everything, of course, about like Global players feeling left out, Global being kind of a hype drain when everything crazy is going on JP. But at this point, like, it's not even a meme. Like, I feel like this happened last year as well, right? Like, it's bad enough that all this crazy cool hype stuff is going on JP for the anniversary. They really should try and release some like cool stuff on Global at the same time, to try and at least, take the Global player base's mind off of all this crazy stuff going on JP, that if they don't play both versions, they're not going to be able to experience for another like 5 months. So they've got to fill this gap with something, right? So I feel like what we are going to see, now whether this will be on the same day as the release of the Future Trunks and Gohan, which, as I say, I think will be the 14th / 15th. This could maybe drop on the 21st or the 22nd, or maybe we'll see Trunks getting pushed up to that point. But on JP, around the time that the Goku and Kid Buu Dual Dokkan Fest came out, Now, I don't think they'll be pushing that early. We got the Awakenings and then the EZA'S for all of these other Fusions characters, as well as the EZA'S for these free-to-play Fusion units that we just got the Awakenings for, as well as these 3 free-to-play units from the Majin Buu saga. So, to me, it seems more than likely that we are going to get this stuff drop on Global next week, at the beginning of next week as well. Because, I mean, otherwise, what is there to do? Now, obviously, worst case scenario, they don't release them and they just basically leave us in a, like, haha, there you go, just get on with it situation where we just don't really have anything to do, which is a little bit unfortunate. But hopefully we are going to see this stuff coming sooner rather than later. So the whole point of this video, to kind of get you guys on track, ready for what stuff is going to be coming out. Now, obviously, if these Awakenings do not come out, the preparation for them still is probably worth doing now, because I imagine by now you guys have probably farmed up these units and awakened them. So the first thing you should do, of course, farm up extra copies of these 3 free-to-play units to SA5, get the medals to awaken them to this form, and then obviously once they've EZA'd, you can then feed those extra copies in, get them up to SA15 straight off the bat for free. You should always do that with free-to-play units, of course. That does mean you have to farm up another 60 of these armband medals. But then, of course, these fusions, like I say, even if the Awakenings don't come out straight away, you need another 100 medals to awaken all 5 of these units. So, while you've got nothing to do on Global, I would say go ahead and farm these, because then as soon as these Awakenings go live in the game, all the units that you do have, you can just go straight in and awaken them. And obviously, if you are missing a couple of them, it just means when you pull them at some point in the future, you'll be able to awaken them straight away. That's why I always say you should pre-farm medals for LRs, because you never know when you're going to randomly pull one off of a banner. Like, say you try YOLO Moe on the Gohan and Trunks banner, you might pull, say, Goku and Piccolo, and they were a prime example of a unit that they used medals from a story event to awaken, which hadn't come back a second time for a while after they first released. So if you hadn't pre-farmed their medals, you wouldn't be able to awaken them. So you should always pre-farm medals for units if you've got nothing to do. So another like 160 of these medals ready for the EZA'S and Awakenings is definitely a good idea. Plus there's also the fact that if you're going to go for summoning the future Gohan and Trunks, you need these physical future Gohan medals, these future Gohan medals from one of the story events, and then you need the Int future Gohan medals, as well as these future Android medals as well. So all of these are available to pre-farm in the game, whether through events that are currently up or available with keys. So again, if you find yourself in a situation with nothing to do, then pre-farm these medals, even if you don't want to summon for them now, because obviously you could pull them in the future. Like maybe if you are saving all your stones for the anniversary, maybe you pull on the main anniversary banners, get the units that you're looking for, and then you summon on the part 2 LRs, which obviously at this point we don't know what they are yet. You might pull Gohan and Trunks, and you don't want to be in a situation where you then have to spend a couple of hours going off and farming all their medals. You probably want to just awaken them straight away and start playing with them. So if pre-farming medals isn't something that you really feel that interested in doing, the other thing you can of course get ready for is the link leveling. So these guys, especially if you're free to play and are actually going to find a use for them, you can start link leveling them now, because obviously once they EZA they don't change. Future Gohan should get his EZA around the same time that they decide to drop this LR. So link leveling him in advance is a good idea, because I know a lot of people, like I say, when I put out that tweet, all they're really doing on Global at the moment to pass the time is link leveling. So I think that one of the best advantages that Global still has is the foresight. So foresight for banners gets messed up a little bit. Like we have a good example right here with not only did the Androids banner come early, but it was obviously changed. But with EZA'S, we still know roughly like what celebration they're going to come out in. So it gives you a list of units that you can go ahead and start link leveling, ready for when they do drop on Global. So link leveling this guy is definitely a good idea. These guys, it's a bit more difficult because obviously they awaken. Now, I have actually checked each individual unit, and the only thing that happens with their links is that they get Shattering the Limit. So you could start link leveling them, and obviously it just means when you awaken them, you're going to have a level 1 shattering the limit. The reason I say that is because units like the heroes units, right, that often don't awaken for like 2 years, we had the example of the base form Gotenks and Gohanks, that because they awakened to Super Saiyan 3 from base form, I think it was like 3 of their links changed. So not only did you now have Shattering the Limit at level 1, but 2 of the links that you previously had at level 10 have now changed to something else and are level 1. Whereas these guys don't do that. So if you want to start link leveling them, you can. I don't normally link level units before they're awakened, but if you have nothing else to do, then obviously you can go ahead and do that. And then the other thing to bear in mind with this Trunks celebration, we did not get the EZA'S for these 2 free-to-play androids, which I did mention in the androids showcase, kind of hurt the release of the tech androids a little bit, because these 2 are actually 2 of their better link partners, but we didn't have their EZA'S on global yet when they came out. So link leveling these guys is a good idea. And then if you're not interested in link leveling like free-to-play units because you're never really going to use them and you don't want to link level the fusions before they awaken, one thing that's definitely worth considering, even though of course it is like 5 months away, is the fact that we have the EZA'S from the anniversary that have released, which is God Goku, God Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Physical Omega. So if you haven't already, obviously you've got a longer time to do this, but by the time the anniversary drops on global, you want to make sure you have all of these guys link leveled as well. So there you go. Not a lot going on global, unfortunately, for the next couple of days, but if you find yourself in that situation where you don't have anything to do, there's a few things you could do in-game to get you ready, and it's not just these units here as well, right? Like if there's any LRs you don't have, and you don't have the medals for them, maybe pre-farm some of them. You know, you can link level any sort of units that you think will be useful in the future, like bearing in mind we know what the anniversary LRs are. You can probably have a good idea what your new teams are going to look like once you get to the anniversary if you do actually pull them, so you can start working on some other units and things like that. So there is stuff that you can find to do to pass the time. I understand of course that it's not like crazy hype or anything to just be link leveling and pre-farming. Even stuff like these free-to-play units that are going to get the awakenings from the Majin Buu saga, all 3 of these, you could farm up the extra copies to SA5. There's a couple of things you could do. Obviously not exciting, not as exciting as the hype, well it's not exciting at all is it, but not as exciting as the hype of JP, but at least it gives you guys something to do in the time being. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think we are going to get the rest of these fusions awakenings this month to help pad out the empty space on global? Do you think we're going to have another global shaft where we just have 1 LR banner, an EZA, and a world tournament, which is, you know, no one really likes world tournament, so that's not content that's going to take up a huge amount of time. What do you think is going to happen, and are you thinking of summoning for future Gohan and Trunks? Let me know all of this down below in the comments section, and let me know how you guys are passing the time on global right now as we are in this content drought. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.